Hi, I'm Cameron. I don't just read comics, I love them. Welcome back to another episode of Cameron Reads Comics. On today's episode, I'm going to be talking about Green Arrow by Joshua Williamson. This run collects Green Arrow issues number 1 through 16 and some of issue 17 and Green Arrow Annual number 1. Green Arrow just has a wild publishing history. I don't know if DC has had the easiest time figuring out just like what they want to do with him. The last time Green Arrow had an ongoing series, it got canceled around 2019. This was like around Heroes in Crisis. They just dropped the book. So this series came back during the Dawn of DC run, and it was originally supposed to be like a 6-issue miniseries. And then it was received so well that they made it a 12-issue series. And then it was received so well that they made it an ongoing title. Unfortunately, Josh Williamson just like can't say no to any project. He got too busy to write it. He said yes to everything, and so he needed to leave the title for his own sanity. The series was canceled, and it didn't get picked up by anyone else. Yes, it did. Williamson got too busy to write it, so during the DC All-In era that we're currently in, he had to finish at issue 16, and then issue 17 it got taken over by the current new writer of Green Arrow. But during the series, these events happen in the DC universe and are referenced in this run, specifically Beast World and Absolute Power. This story picks up after Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths during the Dawn of DC era. I love Joshua Williamson and how he writes the other DC characters. Please, I've done a million reviews on books he's written, so go check those out. This story overall is about bringing the Green Arrow family back together. Because the series got canceled in 2019, the Green Arrow family is just like all over the place, and we need to get them back into one place. And that is what the first 6-issue series was supposed to be about. There's so many characters and there's so many different dynamics. Williamson wanted to bring them back to one space. The first half of this arc is like literally about Ollie being lost in the multiverse and then his family trying to come and find him. It's about what took place between the last arc and this arc and just trying to like bridge the gaps of what's gone on here. In order to bring everyone together, Ollie ends up making a deal with Amanda Waller, and this puts Ollie in her debt when it comes to the Absolute Power event, which was a big part of this run. He has to be on her side, and it's kind of a gnarly part in this whole like Absolute Power going on. But the second half has to do with finding out who and why someone was trying to keep this family apart. Who was behind it? Amanda Waller is the team that brought them together, but she's not the one who kept them apart. So here are the characters. We got Oliver Queen, obviously Green Arrow. Black Canary, I think it's Dinah Lance. I didn't look it up. Roy Harper, Arsenal. Green Arrow Connor Hawke is his son. Then there's like 4 different versions of Speedy that are all female. Some of these, I haven't heard of like 3 of them. So the first one is Speedy Mia Dearden, who is from the Archer's Quest era Green Arrow. There is Arrowette. I don't know who that is. Red Arrow. Red Canary. And they all come up in this book. I think, are they on the cover? It's a wraparound cover and it doesn't show. But basically, yes, they are. So how did I like this run? This is a new section in the videos. I think that Green Arrow is a title that should always be around in DC, especially with how many fans know who he is now. DC's greatest strength is legacy, and Green Arrow has such a strong fan base around everything that's gone on in the character. Josh Williamson knows how to write legacy. So he was a perfect writer, and I think he really did one of the better runs of the character that I've read. I really love this title. Every single month it was coming out, it was a big bummer to me when he said he was leaving the title. That's due to his own sanity, and I had a good run. I'd rather not have Williamson overstay his welcome on this title, but I'm so bummed he had to leave it. It kind of got rushed at the end of just him picking up all the pieces that he laid out. And I'd love to see like a 3rd and 4th arc for this run in particular. It was one of my favorites. I really like this series. For the art, there's Sean Izasuke. I thought he was the perfect artist on this book. He draws an amazing Green Arrow. He draws a great Green Arrow family. He got all of their costumes right, which is not hard to do when there's so many costumes with so many elements that all look the same. He did great. He doesn't cut any corners in his artwork, and he reminds me of kind of like Nicholas Scott meets Phil Hester, which is a perfect kind of blend you want for a Green Arrow book. I really want a Green Arrow sketch by him, and I think he draws a great happy Oliver Queen. He does a great job drawing every character, but the familial dynamic is nailed through Azaski's art, which isn't an easy dynamic that you can tell they all love each other through the art on this book, which again, it's not an easy task, and he was up to the challenge. He did a great freaking job. I think his pencils are amazing. His inks are amazing. But the cool part also about this run is that Phil Hester came in midway through, and Phil Hester, in my opinion, is if not the definitive Green Arrow artist. One of the most famous runs of all time is by him. It is the Archer's Quest era. Kevin Smith through Judd Winnick's and Brad Meltzer's run on Green Arrow. That's all him. It's so good to see him have this DC revival through this title and Gotham City Year One. I'm just so glad to see Phil Hester's name out there. I love seeing his art on Green Arrow, so there's no bad thing I could say about him. Now, for the rating on this book, I'm going to give it a 7.4 out of 10. I'm bummed it ended so early, and they spent a little too much time apart. I would have liked to see the whole family together sooner, but I think it's a great run. Josh Williamson writes a great Green Arrow with heart story, so I feel very fortunate to have read it. If you read it, what'd you think? Leave a comment. My name's Cameron. I don't just read comics. I love them. I'll see you guys next time.